Welcome to the last day of our 5-day challenge. We've looked at a number of things this week, including why you want to house sit, your needs and expectations, where you want to house sit, and which might be the best house sitting website for you personally. We've also talked about writing your about you that describes yourself to the homeowners, and we've made sure you've got your references covered. Today we're going to look at some tips that can make sure your profile is the best it can be. I mentioned at the beginning of this challenge that we'd be using the profile template from Trusted House Sitters because it focuses you on different parts of your profile in a logical order. What's that order? Well, first you need a title. Then you need the About Us that we've already looked at. You need to clarify why you want to house sit and detail your experience. But what makes a great standout profile? For this you need to consider what the homeowner is looking for from you, the sitter. When we were homeowners, it was about finding someone who was reliable and practical. We had an off-grid island property. Someone who wasn't wanting to party every night. We were in a popular backpacker tourist location. And someone who would love our jungle dog Campesino and report back if they encountered any problems. We always think back to those days whenever we're updating our profile or applying for a sit. We put ourselves in the homeowner's shoes again. Think about what attracts you to a homeowner advert. If there's a lack of images, are you discouraged? If they've given scant information, do you pass it over? This in reverse is what a homeowner will do with your profile if you don't give full information to back up your reliability, credibility and experience. So let's start with the title. This needs to draw people in, make them want to continue reading more about you. We use professional full-time house sitters with years of experience. Let us care for your home and pets. We wanted people to know immediately that we're professional. House sitting is a full-time occupation for us and that we've had plenty of experience. We use the care word because that's what we do. We don't just look after your house and pets, we care for them. It's not terribly imaginative, but it's better than keen to travel the world. Can you help me achieve this? I did actually see that on a site a few years ago. One that I like and have seen on Trusted House Sitters is passionate animal lovers, professional, experienced and highly recommended. Keep your heading clear and concise, up to 15 but no more than 20 words, and make sure it tells the homeowner something about you that's beneficial to them. Don't make it all about you. For example, we want to be in New York for Christmas. Don't be uninspiring. House sitter available in Costa Rica. And don't post a heading that doesn't make grammatical sense or has spelling mistakes. In fact, a tip to take on board before you get too far with this process is to write your profile in a word editor. You can perfect it then, run spell checks and do a word count before uploading it to the website. It's much easier than trying to write directly online. I'd also suggest you run your profile by someone who knows you well. They might remind you of a quality or experience you've forgotten to include, and they'll check your spelling. When we started out, I read 20 or 30 online profiles for inspiration and to see what people with lots of references included as part of their profiles. I knew that as newcomers we needed to create a profile that was like a first-class business CV, so we spent a lot of time on this and it really did pay off for us. We even made a video, something you should consider for sure. Next you need to write your About Me or About Us. Say who you are and whether you're house sitting solo, as a couple or as a family. Explain where you're from and something about your background. Are you house sitting full time? Are you retired, semi-retired, working from home or travelling? Let me read you the beginning of ours. For us, house sitting is a full-time way of life. Happy, relaxed and positively motivated, we're also friendly, reliable and extremely trustworthy. Most importantly, your pets will love having us around to play with. Now semi-retired, we've organised our lives to enjoy an active location-independent lifestyle. Our occasional part-time work involves teaching English online and publishing an online magazine for the house-sitting community. As long as we have internet, we're happy to work from home, house-sitting anywhere in the world. So we started with lots of positive information and hopefully show our playful natures with our comment about the pets. Then we give some serious information about our lifestyle. We have a few more paragraphs in our About Us. We talk about our hobbies, our relevant property experience, that we were once homeowners too, and a little about our references. All this positive information helps build credibility and trust. Some people say keep your profile short and snappy. However, if you check out the people on Trusted House Sitters with 30 plus references, they all have fairly long detailed profiles. It seems to work for them and it works for us too. Another tip is that if you are sitting internationally, it's good to talk about the countries you visited, climates you're comfortable with, extreme weather experience and so on. Some homeowners worry that someone from the UK, for example, might be out of their depth on a Caribbean island in tropical conditions, possibly with the threat of hurricanes. Also mention that you're financially independent if you are. It shows that you have the funds to pay for an expensive long-haul flight, another concern that some owners might have. They don't want to be worrying whether their house sitters can actually afford the flight to Australia from Europe in high season. A few tips also about writing style. Keep your text in short paragraphs of 2 to 3 sentences, and also keep your sentences short too. You might be able to use bullet points to showcase your skills, but this will depend on the website you're uploading your profile to. Try and write in active voice rather than passive voice. For example, we will care for your pets rather than your pets will be cared for by us, which is passive voice. Generally, it's better to write in active voice as it's clearer and more direct. Another example would be, beautiful giraffes roam the savannah. This is active. The savannah is roamed by beautiful giraffes. This is passive. In each section, write the important information first and more detail further on. At each section, you want to encourage the homeowner to read more, or at least to get those important facts about you if they do skim through the page. You could also quantify your experiences. So, for example, we've been house sitting full-time for 5 years and looked after 32 homes in 12 different countries. Or, we've helped 32 homeowners enjoy their time away and kept 54 pets happy in their homes. If you do this, of course, you'll have to remember to update your profile regularly, but that's not a bad habit to get into. If you've already worked on your why we want to house sit, copy and paste it into your profile template now and add anything else that you want to say. Don't make this part too gushing, keep it factual and practical. Again, check out some other online profiles and see what resonates with you for inspiration and ideas. Finally, you should work on my experience. Think of this section as what you bring to the assignment. If you don't have any or little actual house sitting experience, refer back to your relevant skills, those that we identified in video 3. Present them as benefits to the homeowner. For instance, you could say something like, I have high standards of cleanliness. The homeowner will see this as, I'm going to return to a clean, tidy house. Or conversely, if the homeowner is particularly laid back and not big on cleaning, they might see you as not a good fit. This is all good. It matches those expectations we talked about and avoids problems at a later date. I often find when I'm writing it's best to just go with the flow for the first draft. Write everything that you want to say. Then just keep going back over your words to refine, improve and make as clear as possible. Do remember this is a sales pitch though, whether you like it or not, so you must sell yourself and lead the homeowner to the conclusion that you're the sitters for them. I know some people shy away from this, but if you want to set yourself ahead of the competition, you have to think this way. Also, put any links that you can offer. Are you a business owner? Put a link to your business profile if you have one on a website or on LinkedIn. Do you have a travel blog? Put a link to this too. Anything that shows people about you and your background or lifestyle. Only once you're really happy with your text, have spell checked and got someone to check it through, should you put your profile online, and follow the guidelines as provided by your house sitting platform. Most sites let you preview your profile, so make sure you do this. Don't skip this process. You'll see if the formatting has worked and how the profile will appear to others. What about your profile images? Well, these are just as important as your written profile. The platform you choose will determine how many images you can upload. Use the maximum you can. In this basics course, we haven't time to go deeply into this aspect of your profile, but make sure your first image is a clear, up-to-date picture of you and your partner or family. It doesn't have to be a boring head and shoulders image. It can be you in an active situation or with pets, but do make sure your face is clear, no sunglasses, and make sure you're smiling. Your other images can be pictures of you with pets or travelling, but they should be relevant. Don't just upload any image, flowers from your garden or something totally unrelated to your lifestyle. Give this some thought. We cover this aspect of your profile in depth in our Become a House Sitter Pro video course, so this is probably a good point to look at where you can go from here. We really have covered just the basics of house sitting this week. There's so much more that I could tell you about the process, and we've found ourselves perfecting this time and time again. This has led to continual back-to-back house sits, and we've also found other ways to get house sits now through repeats, by marketing ourselves, and through referrals. So, how can you keep learning? Well, there are a number of ways. There's a lot of information online in articles, in our house sitting magazine, and on the house sitting platforms themselves. But the problem is there's so much information it can be overwhelming. I would suggest if you've enjoyed learning by watching these videos this week, you might like to take a look at our online course, Become a House Sitting Pro. It contains over 2.5 hours of videos covering everything from creating your profile, applying for sits, handling a house sitting interview, the handover, managing the sit, dealing with problems, and handing back the keys and the pets. There are downloadable resources throughout and lots of checklists to help you at every step of the way. We actually created this course on Udemy a couple of years ago and have since helped over 150 people get started as house sitters. But we've recently updated the course and moved it onto our House Sitting Magazine website, so we're busy relaunching it right now. This course normally sells at $47, but for the next 48 hours we're offering it to you guys, those who have taken the time to attend this challenge, for just $27. That's a great deal, but it's only for 48 hours. Take a look at the link to see what's included. And if you have any questions at all, please send me a message. Well, I think that just about wraps up this short introduction to house sitting. I hope you've got some useful information and that you go on to have the best of house sitting experiences. We'll try and run a challenge or learning experience at least once a month to keep you on track. And let me know if you've enjoyed this short course. Was it helpful? Was it missing something you'd like to have known more about as a newcomer to house sitting? All feedback is good feedback. So take care, and I'll see you back in the Facebook group. Bye.